would say keep the energy high, the energy level. Okay, Ben Voorhorst. Well, the energy transition is in full swing, as we already mentioned. Still, of course, there's a lot to come. What are today's challenges facing the energy market? Can you name a few who are very important?
What we see is that the big challenges are that
Wait, you know what? I don't think it's working. I can.
The big challenges are that in the past we are used to have big power plants who respond to what the customers are taking from the energy system. I mean, there must be continuously a balance in the system, so if anyone takes energy, it should be produced. And that whole process is changing very fast because we have now more generation from the greenhouse farmers already for years, but also now those with the solar panel coming into the play, also with batteries and other capabilities, electrical cars. So we have a lot of new players coming into the scene, which are changing the complete setting of the energy system in order to make the whole system more sustainable and more renewable.
But it's also very volatile because of that, of course.
For sure. I mean, so far it was that the generation was following the loads, but what we now see is that is also what we aim for in the society, more renewables, but that means to a large extent solar and wind, that will be available when with sun and or wind. That makes that the pattern will be much more fluctuating, deviations on that one. Also, how accurate is the weather forecast in that respect, and that means that all, for the moment, when it's a limited amount compared to still the conventional generation, it can be accommodated, but in the long run that will be much more flexibility and much more a challenge to cope with that.
I looked outside just a few minutes ago. It was very cloudy. It's not a good day, I think, for renewable energy, or is it?
It could be for the wind and offshore. Most of the time there is some wind. So in the winter time, anyhow, you have to look more to the wind than to the sun. But at least these will be the big challenges to deal with that.
And I heard that the electricity price a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I think mid-January, was at its highest price in 5 years.
At least for a longer period of a week that the price was quite high, but I think that also it was not even a month ago that Christmas, at least in Germany, even on Christmas Day, even below zero. So you see the fluctuations which are in the system, and that is the big challenge we are dealing with. So coming from more stable setting to many players in the market, even up to the consumers who are active and should be involved in the market, and also more price volatility in that respect.
Now, TenneT became a 40% shareholder of ETPA. Why do you think this is an interesting venture?
For us, we were looking at what you already introduced in your announcement, is that we were looking for possibilities to further develop the market. We need for the system at the end flexibility, and that means flexibility that is not automatically there, but that should be brought to the market. And how to do that? That makes that you need platforms in which customers with low barriers can entry into, and that they can discover how attractive it is to bring in offers, bids to a platform. And what we saw is that if we go to a setting in which we have much more smaller enterprises, but also at the end consumers or aggregators or suppliers who offer that kind of products, you need to have a platform in which it's not based on hours but on quarterly hours, but also easy possibility to change your bids, but also if you have an opportunity as a customer that you can decide today I'm willing to offer that for balancing, tomorrow I'm willing that to offer it for portfolio management from a BRP, and the next day for position management. So also thinking from the customer perspective how to bring this flexibility to the market, and by doing that giving the maximum value to the customer at the end.
That's of course a very good point, and it's also because of sometimes it's difficult to predict, of course, the weather for tomorrow. That's how it went in the conventional way, but it's getting more difficult, of course, when you have more wind and solar energy.
Yeah, the more, and that means also more details with respect to where do we have an issue. We on the high voltage grid or on the TSO quit, and I think that from Steding you will get examples on that one, what will be the challenges for the future. So that was for us the reason to say, okay, we have to develop platforms in which it is low access, but also flexibility with respect to how can you bring this flexibility from the customers into the total market.
Now, is it not, well, I read that it's not really, where can I find it? Oh yes, it's not classified as a non-regulated activity from ETPA, you being a shareholder of ETPA. Why do you think, or maybe you see more possibilities in the future, in the medium or long term?
Yeah, for sure, but it's not. I mean, for us, the main goal for Tenet is to develop this market, to give the signal to the market. This is the way the market can help themselves, because I'm also responsible in daily life as a system operator, and I would like to be lazy. And what do I mean by that? That the market solves their own problems, so that we don't have to balance the system or have to do difficult things. But in order to do that, if you go to a system and a setting in which there are not any more big power plants who are running, at least not if there is sufficient sun and wind, then you should have a setting in which the participants can really participate in the market, have the right information, and that we as a TSO also can rely on that they will respond.
How quickly do you think coal plants, for example, can have sort of a Sunday rest?
I wouldn't be surprised that within 5 years we have the situation that in March on a Sunday afternoon, low load, nice sun and strong wind, that we won't have big power plants in the Netherlands, and that means and with some imports, and at that moment then the renewables have to do it.
We're going to see it.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Ben Voorhorst from Tenet. Thank you.